Hello everyone, welcome to What All About. So for today's video we are having the luxury full-size 7-seater SUV from Maxus, the Maxus D90. So you might know Maxus is a Chinese car brand from the group of SAIC Motors, who owns the brands like Maxus and MG and all. So in today's video we will have a full in-depth review of the new Maxus D90, which will include the exterior, interior, performance data and a test drive of the car as well. So let's begin with the exterior. Before that, I will quickly show you the key of the car. It's a quite thin but a large key. It's written Maxus on the back side, and we are having D90 on the top side, which is having basic keys only. It's having a lock, unlock and the trunk release button, and the trunk is completely electronic here, so we can open and close the trunk with the press of the button. So the car is having keyless entry and go. You'll have to keep the key always in the pocket to lock, unlock and drive the car. So now talking about the overall design of the Maxus D90, the car looks really beautiful from outside. It's having it's a really big car actually, and the design and the styling from Maxus is really good. It looks even though the brand doesn't have that what we can say like a brand value, the car gives a really nice impression and it's a really attractive car. So let's begin with the front end. Up front in the center we can see there is a really big grille here with the Maxus logo in the center, and below the logo we can see there is the camera, which is part of the 360-degree camera system, and below that we have the number plates, and at the bottom we are having the front parking sensors here with a aluminum kind of front lip at the bottom. The car is having a really good ground clearance, as you can see. And now having a detailed look at the headlights. It's a completely LED headlights here, and it is written here full LED. And on top we are having the daytime running lamps, and at the bottom we are having two headlamps with high beam, completely LED here. And moving below we have a small air intake here, and also a fog lamp which is incandescent. The fact is it gives a kind of yellow tint for the light, and it's good for foggy conditions, I believe. Overall the front end design is really good. And on top of the windscreen we can see there is a sensor as well as a camera, which is for the functions such as lane departure warning and adaptive cruise control and all. And moving to the sides, this is the side profile of the car. It's a really large SUV, and the roof is kind of sloping towards up, and also we are having a really nice roof rails here. Now coming towards the sides, talking about the wheels, this particular model is top of the range line, but still it is having an 18-inch wheel only. That's because the test drive car, the showroom has provided off-road tires. For fitting that tire, they have changed the wheel from a 21-inch to an 18-inch wheel. So basically the full option model will come with a 21-inch wheel with two 65 series tires in all four corners. In this particular model we are getting an 18-inch wheel with two 75 series off-road tires, so that is also a good option to consider. And on the sides we can see there are some aluminum inserts as well as a full-length running board, which is really necessary for short people to climb inside this car since it is quite taller. And talking about the mirrors, they are really large mirrors with a kind of an aluminum finish and an LED turn indicators. At the bottom of the mirrors we can see there is a camera as part of the 360-degree camera system, as well as a projector which projects the car logo towards the ground at night. And the mirrors are folding automatically while locking the car, and it will come back when it is unlocked. So now coming towards the sides, at the bottom of the doors we have an aluminum finish, and on the top we have completely black finish. Now coming towards the rear end, you can see that black line is extending all the way towards the rear when it is connecting towards the frame of the rear glass. That's a really nice look, in fact. And coming towards the rear side, it's really beautiful from all angles, I should say. Now at the rear side, the major thing is the tail lamps. It's full LED tail lamps here, as we can see, and it is a really good one even at night as well. And at the bottom here, the Maxus 4-wheel drive and D90, it is written here, and we have some reflectors on the sides. And the bumper is having a dual tone finish, and it is having the parking sensors in it. And coming to the bottom, we have dual silencers here. Also we are having a fog lamp mounted in the center. At the bottom we can see we are having a spare wheel mounted at the bottom as well. Now coming to the center, we have a rear wiper with washer, and also we are having the high mounted stop lamp on the top, and also we have a small spoiler as well on top of the glass. Overall it's really nice looking rear side. And here below the logo we can see there is a 360-degree, there's a camera for the 360-degree camera system, as well as there is a button to open the trunk here, which we press and opens the trunk automatically for us. Talking about the space in the trunk, it's really good for such a big SUV. Now we have all seats folded up, and we are getting this much space behind. So if we need more space, we can always pull this one and we can bend it so that it will get much bigger storage space. Even the second row can also be folded with the help of this button. It will be folding the second row as well. So it's a nice feature to have. And also at the rear side we can see there are some hooks for keeping the storage partition net or something, and the controls for folding the second row, as well as on the other side we have a 12-volt power outlet and some lights, and the subwoofer is also mounted on the left side. And then we have a small tray to open, inside which we will find the basic tools, the fire extinguisher, and from here we can lower the spare tire as well. So that's it about the trunk. Now we can close it by pressing the button once, or using the remote, or there is a button inside the car as well to close the trunk. Now moving towards the sides, we can see the fuel filler cap is on the left side, and the other things are similar to the other side. It's a really beautiful car, a really big car in fact. So now let's move inside and see how the interior of the Maxus D90 looks. So as I told, the car is having chromium kind of finish for the handlebars, and the driver and passenger doors are having the lock and lock button located on the doors. So there is a button, there is no sensor inside. To lock the car, keep the key fob in the pocket and press it once, it will lock the car, and press it again to unlock the car. So once we open, the doors almost opens like to a 90-degree angle, we can say. And as I told, there is a running board to climb inside the car, as well as on the door sills we can see the Maxus letters, the Maxus lettering, which is illuminated as well. So here is the look at the front cabin of the D90. So having a look at the front doors. So the top portion of the door panel is kind of injection molded plastic, which is really soft touch one, and also we have some fake wood trim with some aluminum trim as well, and the door handle is also finished in aluminum. And below that we have a leather finish for the handrest, as well as there is a small storage and the controls, window controls, as well as the scroll control, and the lock and lock button is located here. The front driver side window is completely automatic up and down, and all other windows are automatic down, but there is no automatic up function. And we can see a really elegant looking speaker grill. It's part of the 12-speaker audio system, so that is finished in plastic, but still it looks really nice. And below that we have some hard touch plastic portions here with some nice storage spaces, as well as the fuel cap release. Now let's talk about the seats. The seats in Maxus D90 full option are finished in leather, this particular model being the beige interior package. So the seats are really comfortable. For me, I didn't find any issues with the seats, and it's having functions like as 2% memory storage, as well as the seat massage function is here, and we have the power lumbar support as well as the full power adjustment for the seat. Now let's move inside and talk about the car. So the door is somewhat solid, and to start the engine, we'll have the key fob in the pocket or inside the car. Push the start button and the brake to start the engine. So here is a look at the overall dashboard of the Maxus D90. Now talking about the interior, the overall interior is finished in kind of dual tone finish. On top we have this soft touch injection molded plastic, and in the center we have some aluminum trim around the air vents, as well as some fake wood trim, which looks nice in fact. And below that again we are having some hard touch plastic finishes here. Now let's begin from the left side of the dashboard. So here we are having the controls for the mirrors. We can move it to the left and we can adjust it in any direction. So, and on the other side we have the button to control the brightness of the instrument cluster lighting. So to increase the brightness, just keep it towards the top. To reduce it, it's kind of a toggle kind of button. So to reduce the brightness, we'll have to bring it towards the, it's not a rotary function, so we'll have to use it in this way. And below that we can see there is a small storage space, and then we have the air vents. In this car the air vents can be adjusted to the left, right, and up and down. To close the air vents, just move it towards the side and it will get completely closed. Now coming to the instrument cluster, we are having an 8-inch screen in the center for the full option model, and on top of that we have a small screen as well, which shows the basic warnings there. On both sides of the 8-inch digital screen we have 2 analog meters, one for the speed and one for the RPM. Now talking about the center screen, it gives us all other information, such as on top we can see the odometer, and in the center one with 2 arrows are controlled by these 4 buttons on the side. So if we press it towards the right, it will bring us the media menu. about. Now currently we are in the radio mode, so it will show us the available radio station list and all. Now again, if we move it to the left, we'll have some warnings regarding the driving, and then we have the backlight level adjustment for the display, as well as if you move it down, if we move the toggle down or up, we can go through different menus. Now the display has got two themes in this instrument cluster. It is basically sport and comfort. Comfort is having some kind of a black kind of a finish, and the sporty one is having a nice red accent. Now again, if we move to the side, we'll have the warning for the line keep assist and the cruise and all. Now again, if we move it, we'll have the display option for the contacts, and again it is coming back to the media, and then finally it is coming back to the digital speedometer. Now that is the basic control. So in the basic screen, if you press right or left, it will go through all this menu, and at the same time, if we press it down, it brings us different functions such as the average fuel economy and the tire pressure monitoring system, then the battery voltage. Then here it is showing the details for the maintenance schedule, and then the fuel range as well, and also the instant fuel economy. So that's all the functions available in this instrument cluster. Now coming towards the steering wheel, it's a flat bottom steering wheel with kind of an aluminum and piano black finish in the center. It's completely leather finished steering wheel, and it's, as you can see, a really smooth steering wheel. And right side of the steering wheel, we are having the media controls. So if you press it up and down, it will bring the volume up and down, and on the both sides we have the next and previous tracks or changing the station. And the center, if you press it, it will control. We can choose the source of the audio system, either from audio from the USB or Bluetooth or radio. And at the bottom we have the controls for the hands-free telephone as well. So it's a nice steering wheel overall. Now on the left side of the steering column, we have the stack for controlling the lighting. So it's a basic stack. You can put it down or up for the indicator switches, and at the end portion controls headlights. We can either put it in auto, or we can put this will turn on the park lights, and this will turn on the headlamp itself. Now the next control is for the fog lamps. Currently it is in off position. If you turn it once, it will turn on the front fog lamps. If you turn it once again, it will turn on the rear fog lamp, and we can turn it off by putting it in the off position. And on the right side we have the wiper control stacks. Now the last one will control, it will turn on and off the wiper for the rear window, and at the bottom portion it even has a rear wiper washer function as well. And the next ring will control the timing of the wiper speed, and the front wiper can be turned on and off by putting it into different speed levels like this. Now moving to the bottom side of the steering column, we are having a lever to adjust the steering wheel. It's completely tilt and telescopic, and after adjustment we can lock it like this. On the left side, as I told, there is the controls for the mirrors. Hood release button. Hood release is also given in this side. Now coming towards the center, we are having a 12.3 inch full touchscreen infotainment system in this car. Now coming to the system, it's having aluminum frame all around with the full piano black finish. It's finished in glass actually, so it's a little bit fingerprint magnet, but still it's a good system. And we are having only one button in this whole screen, and it is like acting as a home button. So once we are in the home screen, we are having different tabs on the arranged on the left side, and on the top it will be showing whatever media is playing. Currently it is showing as a radio frequency, and on the right side, similar to a mobile phone, it will show the Bluetooth is on or off, and after that we have the time and then the volume and the volume adjustment. And the volume adjustment is like we press on the volume, we can increase and decrease it in this way. So that is one drawback for this system. Actually we don't have a physical volume other than this toggle button. And below that we have the 360-degree camera on and off. Anytime we can switch it on by pressing on that button, and once it is on, we have the aerial view, the top view on the right side, and the front or rear view will be coming up on the center screen. That can be changed from here. If you want the right and left view, it can be adjusted like this. If you want the rear view, it's there, and if you want the front view, it's also available there. So that's about the camera system. Now once again, talking about the camera, you can see the resolution is not that great. It's a good thing that the car comes with the 360-degree camera system, but at the same time it doesn't have the resolution has to be improved a bit. And by the way, as you can see on this view, in the car which is shown is having a full panoramic sunroof, but it is not offered in UAE anyways. It is maybe some Chinese variant of this car. Anyways, moving forward with the infotainment. As you can see, the tabs are arranged on the left side from bottom to top. We have the media at the bottom. If you click the media, it will show a like a small thumbnail in here, and if we expand it, we will have the full details here. Now at the bottom here, we can select either USB 1, USB 2 or Bluetooth music, and whatever is playing, and the next and previous controls will be here. And on top we can select between media types like music, photos or videos. That is available in the USB option only. Now moving on, and the next one is the radio screen. So similarly we can expand the screen, and on the right side it will show whatever station is playing, and in the search list here it will show all available frequencies in the particular region. And on the left side we can see some favorite list, and on top of it we have the option to change between FM and AM signals, and some channel scanning, and the auto saving options are also available. Now moving on top, we have the menu button. If you click the menu button, we will have this much icons available. There are total 6 icons. One is for the Apple CarPlay, which will launch the Apple CarPlay once the phone is connected with the data cable. And then we have the air conditioning button, which will bring the air conditioning controls. Currently I kept it in off mode. We can turn it on either by pressing auto or by pressing AC. So once it is turned on, we can select the different air blow positions from here, and the fan can be adjusted from here, or else we can put it in auto mode, and we can sync the temperature between the driver and passenger, and the temperature controls are here. And also, let me turn it off, and also the heated seats for driver and passenger are located in the respective sides. Below that you can see there is a rear control is also available here. We can put the rear AC in auto mode, and flow direction, all these things can be adjusted. So that's it about the AC. Then we have the vehicle status menu. It will show us a score based on the driving habits. If you expand it, you will have the tire pressures always shown there. Then we have the engine oil level, and what the time for changing the oil filter, and the pollen filter, air filter, fuel filter. All these things will be shown up in at what time we have to change it, and what is the current status. It will be shown with a kind of a meter, like a gauge. Then, and the other tab, we have the service plan. Is like we have a service plan of every 10,000 kilometers, and these are the things to be changed during the service plan, like regular maintenance with the change of engine oil and oil filter. So those are the details in the vehicle status menu. Now in the easy connections screen, this is a screen mirroring technique, because the car doesn't have Android Auto. So for Android users, they can use any Android phone and they have to download the application called Easy Connect. And once it is downloaded, and we have to enable the USB debugging in the phone settings. And once we connect the phone with the data cable, the screen of the phone will be mirrored to the for the car screen with an interface. As you can see in the screen, we have a voice search option, and the navigation option is there. Whatever maps we are using, it will be displayed on the screen. And similar to a phone, we can use this navigation. And other than that, we will have a music application and phone, and some connection settings are available here. If you go to the settings inside the application, you can change the default maps or other minor settings and theme and all. Now that's about the Easy Connect. Then if you go to the menu, we have the settings tab. So once we enter the settings, by default it will be always showing the Bluetooth call volume and the Bluetooth connected device list. So once we expand it, we have 3 tabs at the bottom. We have Connect, General and System. In the Connect, we can turn on and off the Bluetooth like this. And then we have the auto answer feature for Bluetooth, which will answer the calls automatically without pressing any buttons or screen. And then auto connect will normally connect to the previous phone which was connected to the system. And then that's it about the connect. Then we go to the general settings. In here on the left side, we can control it in 2 ways basically. Here on the top we have a section where if we click it, we can go through the different options. Now currently we are in the voice settings. If you click on the sound effect, it will bring the next one. The same thing we can do by simply scrolling the screen as well. So this is the first one. We are currently in the voice settings, so we can turn on and off the key press button. The car will make a tick voice if we keep the key sound on. I prefer to keep it turned off. It is little annoying actually. And then this is the master volume of the system, the audio volume. And then the speed dependent volume. If you go to the next section, that is the sound effect section actually, the speed dependent volume you can turn on and off from here. And then we have the sound field. We can adjust the sound field wherever we want. So, and other than that, we can go to the sound effects. We have some default sound effects available here, like normal, jazz, class, rock and pop. And always I prefer, in this particular car, it has got a really nice music system, but the audio settings like this equalizer has to be adjusted by ourselves for our satisfaction, because the high-low frequencies are not that clear in this car. So we have to keep it a little down. On the bass also we have to adjust a little bit here and there. That will give a really nice listening experience in this car. It has got a really nice 12 speaker audio system in this car, and the speakers are located, like 3 are in the top of the dashboard and 2 speakers are on the front doors, and there are 2 speakers each on the rear door, and even on the 3rd row we have 2 speakers, and at the bottom and at the trunk we have a subwoofer. That's how the speakers are arranged. It's a really nice audio system actually. And then moving on, we have a loudness on and off button. Yeah, the loudness control will basically on and off the bass a little bit, and yeah, that's it. And then moving further, we have the brightness mode. We have the day, night and manual control. I prefer to keep it in manual mode because the brightness might go too low if you keep it in the auto mode, like day or night. And manual mode, we can control the screen brightness from here, and the screensaver timeout, or there's a screensaver function. It is also can be timer can be adjusted from here. Then the screensaver and the wallpapers we can select from this menu. Now moving further, we have the regional settings, like languages we can select, and the time format we can select, and the time zone. All time zones are not available in this car since it is a Chinese make. Mostly it is having some Asian time zones and some other areas only. And then the date and time formats we can select, and the date and time settings is also available in this area. Now at the bottom we have the system tab, store vehicle settings, and the version of the infotainment. These kind of data we can see from there. Now the last one is the manual. If you go to the manual, most of the system usage details can be found out from this tab, and you can return and go to any section. Like if you have any doubt regarding the radio, all these things are mentioned clearly in this area. So that's about the menu tab. If we move further, we have the Bluetooth telephone options here. In that menu we have the normal keypad, and if the contacts are synced, we have the contacts here, and the call log is here. That's normal only. If we go to the top, we have another menu which is called the vehicle control. In this one we have some driver assistance toggle functions and all. The lane departure system, we can turn it on, and the assist mode it will show here. There is no assist, in fact it is only alarm. And if we come down, we have the alarm sensitivity adjustment is there. And if we move further, we have the collision prevention warning. So that is having, we can on it and off, on and off it from here, and also the kind of assist mode will be selected from here. We have now the alarm plus auto braking function turned on, and the sensitivity can be adjusted from here as well. Moving further, we have the blind spot monitor, can be turned on and off. The blind spot is actually located near to the, in the rear view mirror itself. You can see there is a small light. It will be blinking if there is anything on the blind spot. And then we have the driver fatigue monitor. It is kind of it will ask the driver to take rest and all during long drives. So that is just for kind of a reminder. And then the parking distance control, we can turn it on and off. In this particular car, this option cannot be turned on, the function is not there. And then we have the 360-degree surround view camera. So that also we can adjust. If we start to move the vehicle, it could show the camera should be turned on or off. All these things can be selected from here as well. Then the next section in this menu is the comfort and convenience. If you go to that one, the welcome lamp, we can turn it on and off. The timer can be selected. And the follow me home, it is similar to the that once we lock the car, the lights will be turned on for certain timing. And then the drive away lock is like if you leave the car unlocked for 30 seconds without the key inside, the car will get locked automatically. And then there is something called auto relock. Auto relock is like when we move the car, it will be getting locked automatically. Then we have the locking feedback. We can either set it only light or horn, or light plus horn. Like when we lock the car, it will give a small horn sound plus the lights will be blinking. So that's about the screen. I think I have covered almost everything. Now moving further, we have the two center AC vents here along with the hazard lights, and below that we have the air conditioning controls. We have two temperature controls for both driver and passenger. If you press sync, with both of the sides can be controlled from one control. And then we can select the AC mode, different modes, and the defrost buttons, and the fan speed is here. And if we press the rear button, then we control any of these switches, it will be controlling the rear AC only. So that's about the AC controls. And moving down, we have this nice wooden trim for the center console in this car. And here we have a lockable storage with one USB and 12-volt power outlet. There is no wireless charging function or anything in this car. And moving down, we have the 6-speed automatic gearbox gear lever here, and it is having a manual function as well. If we put it towards the side, we can have the manual mode as well. It's like this. If you put it to the side, it is in manual mode. We can press it up or down for shifting the gears. Then on the side of the gears, we have the driver seat heating, driver seat ventilation, and the passenger seat heating options here. And on the right side of the gear lever, we have multiple switches for turn off different driver assistance functions, such as the hill descent control, which will brake the car automatically while climbing down the hill, and the stability control on and off, and the auto start off function is there for saving the fuel. The car will turn off automatically when we are in a signal or something. And then there is a blank switch. Then we have the differential lock button. And then we have the line departure warning. We can turn it on and off. Now coming below, we have the electronic parking brake. If you pull it, it is applied, and if you push it, it is released. And by default, whenever we switch off the car, the parking brake is enabled by default, and we don't need to release it. You can just give a throttle and the parking brake will be released automatically. Below that, we have the drive mode selector button. To select the drive modes, you can simply rotate the button and the different modes will be displayed both on the infotainment as well as the instrument panel screen. We have different modes such as sand, rock mode, eco mode, auto, and sport mode. So that's about the drive modes. Then we are having two decent sized cup holders here, and coming to the center console storage, we have a split door for the storage, and inside we have a pretty decent space. So there is no other USB or memory card slot or even a light inside. It's simply a large storage compartment. And here is a look at the seats once again. It's a really nice and comfortable seat with the seat massage and all the other controls. So coming to the dashboard, we have the glove box here. It's a fairly decent glove box. We are having all the vehicle manuals and other things inside. Now coming to the top section, we are having an auto dimming rear view mirror here, which can be turned on and off using this button. And on top we have the reading lamps here, which can be turned on and off using this button. And other than that, we have a open and close button for the rear trunk, as well as there is a single sunroof available, which can be slided using this button, or we can have it tilted by this button. And on top of that, we have the light controls for all lights, all internal lights together. If you turn it in this position, it will be turned on, and this center position will keep it on whenever we open the doors, and or else we can keep it always off with this button. Then we have the Bluetooth microphones located over here. Coming to the sun visors, we are having a decent sized sun visor with multi-mirror and lights in it for both the driver and passenger. Now on top, on the passenger side, we have two grab handles, one to step in and one while to use while sitting. And the seat belt heights can be adjusted with this button. And on the driver side, instead of the grab handle, we are getting a sunglass holder. That's a nice feature. And also there is a grab handle as well for the driver. So that's about the front side of the new Maxus D90. We'll have a look at the rear side now. So let's move to the rear side. The rear door doesn't have any lock and unlock functions. So once we open the door, similar to the front doors, the doors are having soft touch injection molded plastic on top, and the wood finish and aluminum trim on the bottom side, with leather finish handrests and some storage pockets, and the window scroll controls. And there are two speakers, one tweeter and one woofer, located on each passenger doors. Moving below, we have a nice storage space here as well. Other than that, on the doors we have the child lock enable button. If you put it on the top position, the child lock will be activated, and after that the door cannot be opened from inside. So now it is unlocked. So this is the look at the rear seats of the Maxus D90. It's an amazingly spacious rear seat here. As you can see, the seats are 60/40 foldable. We do have the Maxus logo, which is illuminated Maxus logo, in the rear door sills as well. Let's step in and see how is the leg room inside. So yeah, Now I am 6 feet and the front seat is adjusted to my driving position, and this is the leg room available. As you can see, it's close to 2 or 2.5 inches of leg room is available for me, and it's very spacious in all the way. We can see, even we consider the leg room or head room, we are getting more than enough space inside this car. And here is the view from the rear seats. Car looks really nice. Now coming to the rear center console, we have the triple zone air conditioner here, so we are having separate controls for the AC of the rear passengers. We can put it in auto mode, we can adjust the temperature and fan speed from here, and below that we have a retractable section which is having a household power outlet itself, along with another 12 volt and a USB port to charge the mobile devices. Below that we have a small storage pocket. We don't have much bump in the center here, since the car is a little bit on a higher side. And here is a look at the rear seats. They're retractable, and it is having a really nice angle of inclination for maximum support and relaxed traveling. Also, what we are getting in the center is the 2 cup holders with an armrest, which is also retractable. Now having a look at the top, we have grab handles and lights, and also AC vents for both side passengers. Now let's have a look at the third row of the Maxus D90. So in order to access the third row, we have to simply pull this lever, which will bend the seats in this position, and we'll have a nice access to the rear side. This is the access available, so let's step in and see how it looks. So now I am in the third row. As you can see, the seats are completely moved to the back side, and then this is the leg room. I'm getting it's amazingly spacious. This car is. Only thing I have to consider is the headroom back here is a little bit tight for a 6 feet person like me. So when we are in the third row, what we are getting is there are cup holders on each side, and also we are having 12 volt power outlets, and there are separate speakers for the third row passengers, as well as AC vents for the third row passengers as well. On top we have 2 more reading lamps for the third row passengers here. Now having a look at the left side passenger, we are even getting another USB to charge their electronic devices. It's really amazing. They have considered all the needs, and everything has been provided in this car. And talking about the safety, the car is having full side curtain airbags all the way up to the rear side, and also we are getting all other airbags in the front side as well. So let's have a look inside the hood. The hood race is located over here, and once it is pulled, the hood is getting unlocked, and to open it we have a small latch inside. Once it is opened, it stays in position with the hydraulics, and here is the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, which is having around 222 horsepower with 350 Newton meters of torque. The engine is paired with a 6-speed automatic transmission, and let's see how it drives. Alright, so driving the D90, the first thing I should say is the visibility from this car is amazing in all the ways. Starting from the rear view mirrors, we have got a really large rear view mirrors on each side, which gives us a very clear rear view and it somewhat clears the blind spots as well. And also we are having a very high driving position, which also gives us a safe feeling while driving. Now, talking about the performance, since it is having a 2-liter turbo only with this such a large and heavy body, the acceleration in the first and second gears, we can feel it as a little bit noisy and jerky, but after that the turbo takes the control and it's a little smooth in the higher gears, like we can say from the third gear onwards. The ride is a little smooth. I never felt like something like power lag or turbo lag and all, except from the fact that in the first 1 or 2 gears we'll have a little bit noise and vibration from the engine that we can feel. Except that the car is very good for the purpose for which it is made for. It is not a performance car, so the car serves the purpose of big family SUV, and the power which it is having, like 225 horsepower, is adequate for that purpose. And talking about the driver assistance systems, we are having the line keep assist, not line keep assist, we can say it's a line keep warning. When we are approaching the line, as you heard, the car will give us a warning in the instrument cluster with a small alarm, so that the driver can maintain the lines clearly. And also the car comes with adaptive cruise control, which is also a really nice feature, and we can adjust the distance from the car ahead and all. Regarding the steering is really smooth. Most of the times we can control it with a single hand, and even at low speeds, taking a U-turn or a circle is extremely easy with the steering wheel, and the car has got a really good steering angles as well. And now, talking about the reachability of the controls, the major thing I have to highlight is that the car doesn't have a proper volume control knob, other than the control on the steering wheel, which is kind of a toggle kind of control. And on the screen we have a control, as I have shown to you earlier, that at times it is really annoying. Always you will have to keep on pressing this toggle switch to reduce the volume, and if we use the screen, it is not that accurate. So sometimes when we are trying to reduce the volume, it might go higher as well. Other than that, all other controls are really easy to use, including the drive mode selector, drive terrain selector and all. Regarding the drive modes, by default the car always will be in the auto mode in which we are driving currently. So we can try how the sport mode in this car looks like. So now we are in the sport mode. In the sport mode, car really gives us a nice throttle response. It's fun when you're driving alone, especially without much weight inside the car. So 1 or 2 people can really enjoy this car in sport mode, in the performance aspect as well. And talking about the infotainment system, especially the audio system, the car has a 12-speaker surround sound audio system with a subwoofer. It's a really nice one. I really loved listening songs in this audio system, even though it is not a branded one like Bose or Infinity or Beats or something. It's a really good audio system. Yeah, now talking about the body roll, the car doesn't have much body roll. Most of the times I didn't felt much body roll in this car. That's a really good thing for such a big car. I even tried a long drive with my friends with the with people in all 7 seats, and I must say everyone in this car was comfortable even with such a long drive, and everybody really enjoyed the trip. Compared to many other cars in this segment, I must say the space inside the car is really good, especially in the third row as well. We are getting a really nice space to have 2 adults. So overall, I love driving this car, and it's a nice option to consider for people who needs a bigger SUV in a budget price. So guys, that was my detailed in-depth review of the all new 2020 Maxus D90, which will be rebadged and launched in India probably as an MG RX-8 or something. So hope you guys loved the video. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel if you like my videos. We'll be back with a new video soon. Till then, take care, drive safe, and goodbye.